Oh, baby, another absolute heater of an episode of SmackDown. In this video, I'm going to be going over every segment, what I thought of it, if I agree with the decisions they made, and where storylines can go from here. Let's get directly into it. The show kicked off with the undisputed WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it," but Drew McIntyre didn't really care. He said the vanilla QB1 era is over. There is a no rematch clause in that contract that Cody signed, so he got screwed out of another title shot. And he basically said, "Screw you" to the fans, because he is the only one who's ever truly been there for him and believed in him the entire time. And then the Viper, Randy Orton, comes out to interrupt him. Randy, basically all he could say was that he will not hesitate to take that title. And Drew had an opportunity to kick Claymore, Randy Orton, through the announce table a few months ago, and he didn't. But if Randy Orton gets that chance, he said he will not hesitate, obviously foreshadowing that maybe the Punk could be returning. But then he was interrupted by Jacob Fatu, and he started brawling with Drew McIntyre and chased him into the crowd. And then The Miz blindsided Randy Orton with a skull-crushing finale, leading directly into their number one contenders qualifying match for the undisputed WWE Championship. And Randy Orton ended up winning this match, which obviously is the correct decision. He's in the world title picture. Miz isn't anywhere close. Randy's already feuding with Drew. He's already feuding with Cody, Jacob, everybody. I don't think I really need to explain why this was the correct decision. But yeah, Randy Orton won. Then there was a backstage segment with undisputed WWE Champion Drew McIntyre and Ilya Dragunov. And Dragunov basically just gave him a little trash talk, said he will win his qualifying match, and he told Drew that if he makes it to the Rumble, he'll knock his teeth out. And speaking of Drew, I really don't think that he was the one who attacked Jacob. It's like, it's way too obvious. It's way too telegraphed. I think it was Randy Orton. I think it would be interesting if it was Cody Rhodes, but I don't know, because Jacob when he went into the ring, he went straight for Drew McIntyre and not for Randy Orton. So I don't know. I still really just don't believe it. Because it's way too obvious of a decision for Drew McIntyre to be the one who attacked Jacob. And then there was a video package with the Wyatt Six, and Solo was shown backstage with the lantern from Uncle Howdy still. And I think this is a really interesting, plot device, if you will. Stealing Uncle Howdy's lantern, Uncle Howdy chasing after it, trying to get it back. I think this is a interesting little twist to their feud and story that they have going. And Solo is putting on some of the best promos of his career, and this feud is just awesome right now. Then we had the first match of the night, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Julia and Kiana James, which just Alexa Bliss hit the Sister Abigail to James, and she got the win. And then after the match, Nia Jax and Lash Legend attacked Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. Julia tried to get in there and fight, but Kiana James stopped her and held her back. And this also confirmed a match for next week's SmackDown in Montreal on the 23rd, January 23rd, between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss versus Julia and Kiana James versus Nia Jax and Lash Legend. I don't know why you have your Women's United States Champion in the Women's Tag Team division. I get it, there's nobody in the mid card, but you could have her feud with Jordynne Grace or something. She should be trying to defend the title, not be in the tag team division. But it's better than her last reign, at least, where she just wasn't even getting featured on TV at all. So, and I think they're very soon gonna start planting the seeds for the Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss split up, because it's inevitable. From day one, we knew that they would split up eventually and probably have a WrestleMania match together. I think Alexa Bliss will probably turn heel on Charlotte Flair. I really think it could go either way, though. I just think Alexa Bliss, because Charlotte Flair has been a heel so much for so long, it would just be better and more refreshing and new to have Alexa Bliss be the heel and Charlotte Flair be the babyface. Then we had Cody Rhodes come out for a promo. Cody declared himself for the number one spot in the Royal Rumble, which I don't think that's how that works, Cody. In kayfabe, aren't you supposed to draw a random number and you come in at that number? I'm pretty sure that's how that's supposed to work. So how come he can just declare to be number one? That seems a little like favoritism, WWE. That's why? But whatever. He also said he has a receipt coming for Jacob Fatu because obviously Jacob costed him his undisputed WWE Championship last week in the 3-phase hell match against Drew McIntyre. I guess I won't really complain about Cody coming out at number one in the Rumble because that just makes it harder for him to win. I still think he'll be in the Final Four, like I said in my predictions video. I think this feud with Jacob Fatu at Saturday Night's Main Event, or this feud with him, could be really interesting. I'll be interested to see when they do have their match. I wonder if they're just going to have Jacob be an absolute monster and destroy Cody, or if they're going to have it be back and forth. I don't know. Is it going to be like the Oba Femi match at Saturday Night's Main Event, but longer? I don't know. I think Jacob should look strong here, and I kind of hope it doesn't end in a DQ from like Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton or something, but it most likely will. Kit Wilson then came out. Well, it wasn't right after this. I messed up the order, but whatever. Kit Wilson, the manliest man of all time, he cut a promo about toxic masculinity, of course, and Jacob Fatu just destroyed him. And then that turned into Cody Rhodes coming out and starting a huge brawl with him. And then that confirmed Saturday Night's Main Event, Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu. I'm excited for this match. Like I said, I really hope it doesn't end in a DQ. We had Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa, the number one contenders qualifying match for the Undisputed WWE Championship, which Damian Priest ended up winning. And I think this is obviously definitely the right decision. Solo's embroiled in that feud with the Wyatt Six, and they have a match next week, MFTs versus Wyatt Six, for the WWE Tag Team Championships. It wouldn't make sense for him to all of a sudden go after the undisputed WWE Championship. So yeah, Damian Priest, definitely the correct option here. However, I don't think Damian Priest is going to end up winning the whole tournament thing. We had Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams in the number one contenders qualifying match for the undisputed WWE Championship, and Trick Williams won that one. Again, right decision. I don't really know where Matt Cardona is going to go from here, but I like that Trick Williams won. He definitely should have won. He's the huge part of the future of this business. And him getting hot early on the main roster, I think, is really good for him. And I just had a voice crack. But his promos have been awesome, especially when he slapped the mic out of Randy's hand and hit a fan. His in-ring work has been awesome. He just looks like $1,000,000. And he's just been completely awesome on the main roster so far. I don't think Trick Williams is going to go to the Royal Rumble to face Drew McIntyre, but I'm glad that he's in the final four-way match. And then, oh man, we had Carmelo Hayes open challenge for the United States Championship. Leon Slater answered, and oh my god, that match was incredible. Also, something that's really pissing me off. Carmelo Hayes has a hurt knee from Shinsuke Nakamura last week. And he did the same thing last week. He rolled the knee pad off of his knee so it's more exposed. Why would you do that? Why? It literally exposes your knee. It makes it more vulnerable to get more injured. You can see in the picture right here, his knee is just completely exposed because he took his knee pad down. What the I need to calm down. It's not that serious. But this match was absolutely incredible. One of my favorite matches of the year, which really isn't saying much because we're 16 days into the year. But I think it's going to end the year being one of my favorite matches. And I'll definitely have to go back and rewatch this a couple times because this was an incredible match that Carmelo Hayes ended up winning, which I obviously think was the right decision. Because, Leon Slater's still in TNA. He's still the X Division champion and all that. It wouldn't make sense for him to win. We also had a match between Jordynne Grace and Chelsea Green, which in just 3 minutes, Jordynne Grace ended up winning. And then after the match, Jade Cargill was ringside during the whole match. And then after the match, Jordynne grabbed a microphone and basically told Jade she's tired of seeing her just babysit the title. And I'm glad they're having her feud with Jade because she needs to defend the title. But please, for the love of God, have her feud with Julia. She needs someone to feud with just as much as Jade Cargill. Julia, your United States champion, a singles champion, is stuck in the tag team division right now because there's nobody for her to defend it against. Please have Jade and Julia and Jordynne Grace all feud. Maybe they can have a triple threat for the women's championship. Maybe they can have a triple threat for the United States Championship. Just have Julia feud with someone so she can defend her title and we don't get a repeat of her first title reign. And then next, the main event. Oh my God, another absolute fucking banger. Ilya Dragunov versus Sami Zayn. The first time, incredible. The second time might have been even better. And Sami Zayn, towards the end of the match, connected with a punch to Ilya Dragunov, actually, and busted his eyebrow open. And he had blood all over his forehead and the left side of his face. And it looked awesome. And he delivered, a big suplex, I believe, from the top rope. It just looked amazing. However, Sami Zayn did end up winning, which, I don't know if it was the right decision or not, but it makes sense. The Saturday Night's main event, he's in the Fatal 4-Way now, which takes place at Saturday Night's main event, which takes place in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, which is his hometown where he's from. And then if he wins that, which I think he will, he'll go to Saudi Arabia, basically his second home, to face Drew McIntyre for the Undisputed WWE Championship, which I think would be pretty awesome, especially because I have absolutely no fucking clue who would win that match. That's the amazing thing about Drew McIntyre being the champion now. Before, with Cody Rhodes, it was he loses it at SummerSlam or WrestleMania, no exceptions. But now with Drew McIntyre, he won it on SmackDown. It could happen at any point. It could happen on SmackDown. It could happen on Raw. It could happen at Saturday Night's main event, a PLE, WrestleMania. Hell, it could happen on NXT. It might happen on LFG, maybe even Evolve. Who knows at this point? I guess it is the right decision because they still need to pay off Ilya Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes having another match. And if he is focusing on the Undisputed WWE Championship, Ilya Dragunov, he obviously can't really do that. But, I think this is the right decision. I would have absolutely loved and been very intrigued if Ilya Dragunov did win, though. Either way, if you disagree with me, I could totally understand that. I think you can really go either way here, and there's not a wrong answer. Both of them are the right decision. And then just a reminder, the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match for the undisputed WWE Championship at Saturday night's main event. Damian Priest versus Randy Orton versus Trick Williams versus Samuel Zayn. But that is going to do it for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you agree with, what you disagree with, or just anything. Ask me a question. I don't know. I'll probably answer. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. And